Picture this. It's 2 in the morning, you're lying in bed, completely exhausted. Your eyes are burning, your body feels heavy, but somehow you're still scrolling through your phone. And you just know you should be asleep, but you keep going. Sound familiar?
Welcome to Let's Talk Real English, the podcast where we talk about real life topics in real, natural English. I'm Eric.
And I'm Lara. And today, this topic is so close to my heart right now because I am genuinely tired all the time. We're talking about sleep, or, well, the lack of it. Why do people never seem to sleep enough?
Right, exactly. And I think, almost everyone listening right now is probably nodding along because this is like a universal thing, you know? It doesn't matter where you live, what you do, people are just not sleeping enough.
Totally. And it's kind of wild when you think about it, right? Because sleep is free. You don't have to pay for it. You don't need any special equipment. It's literally just lying down and closing your eyes. And yet,
Yet nobody's doing it.
nobody's doing it. So, let's actually get into it. Why? Why is this happening? Like, what are the real reasons?
Okay, so I think the first big one, and honestly, the one I personally struggle with the most, is stress. Like, you get into bed, you're tired, and then your brain just goes. It starts thinking about everything: work, money, that awkward thing you said 3 years ago.
Oh, come on, yes. Why does the brain do that? It's like the moment everything is quiet, your brain goes, okay, cool, let me bring up every embarrassing memory from 2015.
Exactly. It's like your brain is just waiting for the silence to unleash everything. And I think a lot of people don't realize that stress physically makes it harder to fall asleep. Your body releases this hormone called cortisol when you're stressed. And cortisol kind of keeps you alert, keeps you wired. And I think that's what people really miss. Most people assume they're just overthinking, but it's actually a chemical reaction happening in your body.
Right, exactly. So it's not just in your head, your body is sort of working against you at that point.
Exactly. And the tricky part is that the more you can't sleep, the more stressed you get about not sleeping, and then you sleep even less. It's like this horrible cycle that just feeds itself. You're burning the candle at both ends, and the candle's running out fast.
Oh gosh, yeah, the I can't sleep because I'm stressed about not sleeping loop. I have been in that loop so many times. It's exhausting, which is sort of the cruelest joke. You're already at the end of your rope, and then sleep just won't come.
So ironic. Okay, so stress is a huge one. What about screens? Because I feel like that's the other massive factor right now.
Oh, screens. Okay, so I know everyone has heard this a million times, right? Don't look at your phone before bed. We've all heard it. But the thing is, most people are still doing it every single night.
Most people are absolutely still doing it. And look, I get it. You finish work, you're finally in bed, and it feels like that's your time. Your time to just scroll, watch videos, check social media.
Right, it feels like a reward almost. Like, I survived the day, I did all the things, now I get to just lie in bed and watch silly videos for an hour. You feel like you deserve it.
Totally. But the problem is, the light from your screen, specifically blue light, actually tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. So your brain doesn't produce melatonin, which is sort of the hormone that signals to your body it's time to sleep.
So you're literally confusing your brain into thinking the sun is still up. No wonder it's so hard to wind down.
Basically, yeah. And I think the other part of it is it's not just the light, it's also the content. You start watching one video and then suddenly 45 minutes have gone by. And somehow you've gone from a cooking tutorial to a documentary about deep sea creatures. And I guess what I'm trying to say is the content keeps your brain completely engaged. It doesn't get a chance to slow down.
And the next thing you know, it's 1 in the morning. That is so specific and so accurate. I mean, how does that even happen? 1 minute you're watching someone make pasta, and then deep sea fish?
Every time. Okay, so you know what I also think plays a really huge role? Work culture. Like this whole idea that being busy and not sleeping is something to be proud of.
Oh, yes. Oh, this one bothers me so much. There's this whole thing, especially in corporate environments, where people kind of brag about how little sleep they get. Like, oh, I only slept 4 hours. I was up working until 3. And they say it like it's something to be proud of.
Right, like it's a badge of honor.
It's so toxic when you actually stop and think about it, because what that's really saying is, I don't take care of myself, and I think that makes me more dedicated. And that's just, no, 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 that's not something to celebrate. In a way, it's the opposite of impressive.
And there's actually research that shows that people who consistently sleep less than 6 hours, their cognitive performance drops significantly. We're talking about their ability to think clearly, make decisions, remember information. And I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? It drops to almost the same level as someone who hasn't slept at all.
Wait, seriously? So you think you're being productive by staying up late to work more, but you're actually doing worse work?
That's exactly it. You stay up to get more done, but the quality of what you're actually doing goes way down. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's completely counterproductive. You think you're hitting the nail on the head, but you're actually just making more work for yourself later.
Okay, that's actually a really important point. And I want to talk about FOMO too, because in a way, that's a huge one, especially for younger people. You know, this fear of missing out. You stay up late because you feel like you don't want to miss what's happening online or with friends or.
Or you feel like everyone else is out there living their best life and you're going to sleep at 10:30.
Exactly, and social media makes it so much worse because you're seeing everyone's highlight reel at midnight and you're like, maybe I should also be doing something exciting right now. Maybe I'm missing out on life.
Yeah, and I think there's also just the reality of modern life, you know? Schedules are irregular. People have long commutes, they work different shifts, they're juggling a lot. Not everyone has the luxury of going to bed at a regular time, and it's just easier said than done.
That's such a good point. It's not always a choice. Sometimes life just doesn't give you the space to sleep properly. You've got kids, you've got 2 jobs, you're at the end of your rope already, and sleep is just the first thing that gets cut.
Right. So it's not always about willpower or discipline. Sometimes the circumstances just make it genuinely hard. And I think it's important to acknowledge that, you know? Not everything is a personal choice.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked a lot about why it happens. Let's talk about what actually happens to you when you don't sleep enough. Because I feel like a lot of people know they're tired, but they don't fully understand what's going on in their body and brain.
Yeah. Okay. So the obvious one is mood, right? When you're sleep deprived, you're more irritable. Small things that normally wouldn't bother you suddenly feel.
Totally overwhelming, right? Oh, I am a completely different person when I haven't slept well. You know what? Someone can say something totally normal to me, and I'll somehow read it as a personal attack. My whole emotional regulation just goes out the window.
And that's actually backed by science. The part of your brain that controls emotional reactions, the amygdala, becomes much more reactive when you're tired. And I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? You're not imagining it. It's not a personality flaw, it's just biology.
Right. And then there's the physical stuff too, which I feel like people sort of gloss over. Your immune system gets weaker, you're more likely to get sick. And come to think of it, long term sleep deprivation is linked to some really serious conditions: heart disease, diabetes, even mental health issues like depression and anxiety.
And that's sort of the scary part. We normalize being tired, we treat it as just part of life. But it's genuinely damaging your body over time.
And your memory too, right? I mean, sleep is actually when your brain processes and stores information from the day. So if you're not sleeping, you're not consolidating what you learned. It just kind of doesn't stick.
Exactly. So if you're a student pulling an all nighter before an exam, you might be actually hurting yourself more than helping. And that's sort of the whole issue. Your brain simply needs rest to lock those memories in. You just can't shortcut that.
It really can't. That's such a good reminder. Okay, so what can people actually do? Let's give some practical tips because I don't want this to just be doom and gloom. What are some real things someone can try tonight?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, first thing, and I know this sounds really basic, but try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Even on weekends, because your body has this internal clock, and I mean, that's sort of the whole point. Consistency really helps it work properly.
Yeah, and I know that's hard, especially on weekends when you want to stay up late and sleep in. But even just trying to keep it within like an hour of your usual time can make a real difference.
Another big one, create a wind down routine. Give yourself maybe 20 or 30 minutes before bed where you're doing something calm, reading, light stretching.
Oh, I actually started doing this a few months ago, just reading an actual book, a real paper book before bed. And you know what? I fall asleep so much faster now. It's kind of amazing, you know? I used to think it wouldn't make a difference, but it really does.
That's great. And I think another thing people really underestimate is their sleep environment. Like your room should ideally be cool, dark, and quiet, because your body temperature actually needs to drop a little for you to properly fall asleep.
Oh, wait, I didn't know that about the temperature. That's actually really interesting.
Yeah, so if your room is really warm, it can actually make it significantly harder to fall asleep. A slightly cooler room sort of signals to your body that it's time to rest. It's a small change, but it can make a big difference.
Okay, cool. And what about like if your brain just won't stop? If you get into bed and your thoughts are just racing? Because that's honestly my biggest problem. I lie down and suddenly I have 1,000 things to think about.
So, one thing that really helps with that is writing things down. Before bed, just dump everything in your head onto paper. Your to do list for tomorrow, your worries, anything that's on your mind. It kind of clears your brain because, I mean, you're not trying to hold everything in your head anymore, which is sort of the whole point. Your brain can finally let go.
Yes, exactly. It's like giving your brain permission to switch off because the information is written down somewhere safe. I feel like that's the part people don't realize. You don't have to keep holding on to it.
Exactly. And there are also breathing exercises that can really help activate your body's natural relaxation response. Something simple. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, breathe out for 4. It sounds almost too simple, but it genuinely works. It slows your heart rate down.
Right. Okay, I think the big takeaway from all of this is sleep isn't laziness. Sleep is maintenance. Like, you wouldn't expect your car to keep running forever without fuel. Your brain and your body need sleep to actually function. It's not optional.
That is such a good way to put it. Sleep is not wasted time, it's essential time. And I think if more people started treating sleep with the same respect they give exercise or eating well, things would look very different for everyone.
Totally. Okay, so we've covered a lot today. We talked about why people don't sleep, stress, screens, work culture, FOMO, life circumstances. We talked about what sleep deprivation actually does to your body and your brain, and we shared some practical, real tips you can actually try.
And I genuinely hope this episode gave you something to think about. Maybe even something to try tonight. Small changes can make a real difference over time.
So here's our question for you, our listener. What's your biggest sleep challenge? Is it stress? Is it your phone? Is it just life getting in the way? We'd genuinely love to hear from you. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts and leave us a comment or a review.
I think the thing that really stays with me is this: most people treat sleep as something they do after everything important is finished. But the truth is, sleep is what makes everything else possible.
That's, yeah, that actually hit me. It's sort of like sleep isn't the reward at the end of a productive day, it's the reason you can have a productive day at all.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who really needs more sleep. You know exactly who that person is in your life.
We all know that person. It might even be you. Okay, that's it for today's episode of Let's Talk Real English. Thank you so much for listening. Take care of yourselves, get some rest, and we'll see you next time.
Get some sleep, everyone. See you next time.